The following episode will contain spoilers. You have been warned.
You're listening to Cinema IRL, the podcast that throws you into the movie and asks the question, what would you do? The movie is Strange Darling. Amber and Scott discuss it. I'm not going to be responsible for the spoilers. Nope, nope, nope. And now, Cinema IRL.
I wish I could switch places for just one day.
What would you do?
Put yourself in my shoes.
How do we handle this?
What would you do?
Put yourself in my position.
What would you do?
Now it's your turn.
Spoiler alert. Do not listen to this episode if you have not watched this movie. I mean, I'm just telling you, if you've not seen this movie, stop. Do not go any further. Watch this movie, then come back. Because we will absolutely wreck it for you. I'm just going to tell you, though, you want to see the movie. Don't let us wreck it for you.
That's funny you're starting with that warning because this is the first movie that we've seen where I really don't want to ruin it for people. Like, spoiler alert or not, I don't want to give out the juicy tidbits here. I really, really don't.
Yeah. So
folks, seriously, go see it. Don't listen to our episode until you've seen it. I really don't even with that warning. I don't want to discuss it. So anyway, let's tell folks what we're talking about. We're talking about Strange Darling.
At the sound of the siren, you will get spoiled.
Okay. Fair warning. Strange Darling is this episode's movie, and our synopsis here is very brief. In Strange Darling, nothing is what it seems when a twisted one-night stand spirals into a serial killer's vicious murder spree.
Yes.
That's all I want to say. I don't want to say more.
You know, that's actually probably a really good intro. Like, normally I'd be like, give more information. No, absolutely not.
I've never not wanted to talk about a film more than I don't want to talk about this film.
In fairness, okay, so we are not a movie review show, but I'm going to break that for just a moment. If there's one complaint I had about this movie is that most of the scenes that involved outside and someone holding a shotgun, the background music was so loud and so overdone that it completely distracted me from what was going on in the screen. Like, it was...
I have no idea what you're talking about.
They had way overmodulated the music. Once they got past that, it was fine. But
I have no knowledge of what you're speaking about.
Oh yeah, no, there was like screeching. It was
screeching?
It was really rough on the ears at the beginning.
Well, you are a very quiet person, so I can understand how something being loud would be offensive to your delicate sensibilities.
She's being sarcastic, boys and girls.
I am the loudest person on earth.
But that also should tell you that it's an issue if I'm saying something about it.
Okay. Anyway, so I'm falling over my words because I just don't want to ruin this for folks. So this started off.
Hang on. I'm just going to let the cat out of the bag because
don't do it. Okay, now that was actually no, don't do it. Don't do it. No.
It's not him, it's her.
No.
It's her.
People, he's joking. That's not really the case. That's not the case.
It's
not
100% her.
That's actually not. I thought you were going to ruin it for folks, but obviously you're just a big lying liar who lies. That's not what happened.
If you've gone this far, you've already been warned. She did it, not him.
Nope, that's not what happened. So this film starts off, and you think you know what's what, and I actually really didn't like the film. It was very gratuitous, very over the top, very... just kind of made you wince and squirm, and a couple times I jumped, and I was like,
So it's weird in that it's a story in 6 chapters, but they do not tell the chapters in order.
Yeah.
It goes, 3, 5, 1, 4, 2, 6.
7.
Oh.
7.
Yeah, that's... no, 3, 5, 1, 4, 2, 6, and it's...
You think you know what's what, and
super gratuitous violence early on, but they needed it. They as the movie got done, I realized that gratuitous violence was absolutely necessary.
So there's a point, and I wasn't watching my phone or my watch to know exactly how much time had passed, but there was a point, it felt somewhere around the middle, that they flipped the script. And what you thought you knew in the first half of the movie is not at all the case. And I said to you about 10 seconds before it was very evident,
Yes.
I said blankety blank blank blank. And I'm not going to say it because I don't want to be a part of spoiling the film for folks.
Yes, and the two people in front of you heard you as well say that.
I don't know that they did or not. Anyway,
you said it. They turned around.
they didn't turn around. They didn't turn around
you
immediately.
actually pulled a Scott. Yeah, he did because he said.
Not immediately. No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Oh my gosh.
You actually pulled a Scott.
Well, that's rude. I don't know what you mean, but that's just rude and uncalled for. Anyway.
You thought you knew what was going on, so before it was
Well, 'cause
revealed,
you-
you turned to me and said, I think this is what's going to happen.
I did because you usually do that to me, and I wanted to beat
That's
you to
why
the
I
punch.
said you pulled a Scott.
Okay, yeah, I did. Okay, so anyway, we've now spent our almost 6 minutes here talking about the film, but as everyone knows here, we are not a movie review show. We talk about what we would do if we were in the character's shoes.
We're not usually a movie review show.
And the film starts off with what seems like a first date and a girl who is looking for a good time but says girls have to be careful because we'd like to have casual sex too, but we have to worry about people killing us, guys killing us. Any single girl who's ever dated in the modern world going back decades, probably even longer than that, knows that if you meet up with a stranger, most women have a thought in the back of your mind about the safety element. Is this safe? Is this person going to hurt me? And that's just the reality of dating today.
This movie was basically a modern Basic Instinct, only with the twist.
I only remember some elements of Basic Instinct. I don't remember the details.
I know she spread her legs, and it distracted a bunch of people.
Oh, okay. So from a what would you do perspective, she is hanging out with this guy in a car, and they're drinking. And she's saying provocative things and saying, well, now I'm not so sure about it because I think I've sobered up on a little bit on the ride over here. And they're sitting in front of a sign for a motel. So he's like, should I get a room? And they're bantering back and forth, but she is intoxicated and he has some liquor in the glove compartment, which he gets out, and she's been drinking beer.
I mean, I don't know if she was intoxicated. I think she acted like she was intoxicated. I mean, in retrospect.
She was swigging.
In retrospect, I think she acted like she was intoxicated.
Or maybe she just has a high tolerance. I don't know. So as a woman, I'm relating to this thing that she's saying about how dating can be scary and you don't know if someone's going to try and hurt you. And that's just
true.
that's just the reality of it. Dating, it's a weird thing when you really think about it. And as you know, I've had a spell in my life where I didn't date a lot. And some of that really is about things like that, about meeting a random stranger, spending time with someone you don't know, and then putting yourself in that first situation where a lack of good judgment could get you hurt. And
It's true.
unless you have a community group or peer group or work group where someone can say, oh, I have a friend I want to introduce you to, you're really rolling the dice on who you meet.
Yeah. I mean, I do agree. Yes. You certainly are. I almost kind of have to bow out on this one a little bit because I am a dude.
Yeah.
And I'm not, I mean, not to say that a chick can't be a killer because she obviously can,
I don't know what you're talking about.
but I'm not generally too concerned with it.
Yeah, it's something that guys don't have to think about. I know I've had conversations with you about holding keys between my fingers. And women do that as a safety measure, that if some guy comes up to them, they have a weapon between their fingers and they can jab the keys at his eyes and try to run away. It's how women know, well, unfortunately not enough women, but a lot of women know if you put your hair in a ponytail or a braid, that actually makes you less safe because a bad guy can grab you by the ponytail or the braid and control you.
Bianca Belair is screwed.
Yeah, she does have one very long braid, doesn't she?
Hashtag wrestling reference.
Yeah. So the other part of this that I think is a good discussion point is really how we as people jump to conclusions. We're given a couple of facts, or not even facts, sometimes perceptions, a couple of, let's say, circumstances, because circumstances don't necessarily have emotions attached to them. And we see something, we hear something, we observe something, we're somehow fed some bit of data, and we form opinions about it based on very little information. And we do it all the time.
Yeah. I mean, no argument.
Yeah, and that's a big part of this film is really perceptions and the experience that you bring to how you see things. Like there's a scene with a female cop, and the female cop, who I would probably describe as more of a woke female cop, jumps to
I think rookie is the term you're looking for here.
Well, I saw it. I don't know if rookie as much as is her just kind of almost being more of a Me Too movement activist kind of a person. I don't know. But she immediately formed an opinion with a situation between a man and a woman. And
well, okay.
it felt...
In fairness, when she walked in, the girl was handcuffed to the freezer. Her pants were halfway down her thighs.
Yes.
She'd been shot. Like, admittedly, there's a lot of things to see there to think that's not necessarily a man versus woman dynamic. That's a, what do I see in front of me?
I would agree, but...
And does this person really look like a perpetrator or a victim?
Okay, so I would agree with you up until the point that her male partner, who is probably, 20, 30 years her senior, says, we don't know that she's the victim. We don't know anything about the circumstance. We're not interfering here. We're not moving anything. We're not touching anything. We're calling in homicide. We're calling in the EMTs. We don't know what happened here. And as a police officer, that is fundamental to performing your job, is not jumping to conclusions.
Yeah, skepticism even in the face of
what
somewhat
seems
overwhelming
obvious.
evidence.
Exactly. And the fact that the woman cop went to the woman and was like, oh, honey, are you okay? And what did the bad man do? And let's help the woman. And I guess that's kind of why I'm framing it as kind of woke me too, in the fact that just because you're a woman doesn't mean that you are always in the right. Women, we make just as many bad decisions
Maybe
and
more.
do bad things as men. And
now, I'm going to take a little umbrage here.
Okay.
I don't mind the female cop coming in and being like, honey, like comforting and like playing like she's the victim to a point. And that point is when they unhandcuff her and apparently don't do a pat down, which I'm 1,000,000% doing a pat down, even just to make sure, because she had taken a gun. She had a gun on her. That would have been found. And, the male cop wouldn't have got his brains blown out.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's my line for everything that you say here. I don't know what you're talking about. So it is an interesting viewpoint about perspectives and the life experience that we bring to situations, because like even if it was a child in that situation, like I'd be more inclined to give a child the benefit of the doubt over a human, or I'm not a human, an adult. That said, Damien.
I don't know, man. I'm not.
There's Chucky, Damien. I don't know. There's
Chucky?
a lot. Okay, Chucky's a doll. You wouldn't think about, Chucky being a killer, but Chucky is. Spoiler, Chucky's a killer.
Let's just take Chucky out of this one. Since this one is theoretically based on a true story, which...
Oh, I didn't see that as being real at all.
Well, they 100% said at the beginning
Well, they said it at the well, yes.
They said it was a dramatization of a true story. So it didn't quite go down this way, but it was based on.
Oh, I just saw that more as a Blair Witch Project kind of a opening of like this thing really happened. I didn't think it really happened.
It probably did, but it probably wasn't nearly as interesting as they made it.
Yes, and this was very, very interesting indeed.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to watch the first part of the movie and be like, oh, God, this is too much, whatever. But just stick it out.
I'm drinking.
Oh, dear God. Okay. We'll get to that in a second. But what would you do? I'm the cops. I'm patting her down. And if I'm the male cop, I'm telling the chick cop to get away. Let me pat her down.
Oh, no, women. Well, see, this is interesting because it kind of goes back to airport security in that if you're a woman, you get patted down by a woman. Because if you're patted down by a guy, then you can say that you were felt up or whatnot.
The problem is that chick clearly wasn't going to do a pat down.
That's true.
So at a certain point, you have to be like, am I worried about the chick saying that I touched her, or am I worried about the chick having a gun and blowing my brains out?
I wonder, I don't know what you're talking about. I wonder what the police protocol is on pat downs. Like if it really doesn't matter. I would think it doesn't matter and it probably shouldn't matter because a cop should just be able to do their job.
My guess is if there is a female cop present in a scenario like that, they probably will do the pat down. Just, again, perception issues. But, I mean, if there's no female cop available and they need to pat a female down, I assure you the male's going to do it.
I was disappointed, though, that female cop, spoiler, lived. I did kind of want her to die.
Yeah, you could tell the killer had something for, like, she...
I don't know what you're talking about.
Did not want to kill other women.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Even though she did on a couple occasions.
I don't know what you're talking about.
She wanted to let women live as much as possible as long as they were not causing her problems or getting in her way.
I don't know about anything that you're talking about. I do know that there was someone in a hotel lobby who died who was a woman. But beyond that, I don't know what you're talking about. So back to our...
You are a lying liar who lies. I'm just going to note that for the record.
I don't want to ruin this for people. I've never felt
it's
more
too fucking
strongly.
late. You've been ruined.
No,
You're at this
because
point, you're
a
ruined.
lying liar who lies, and you're telling people things that aren't true just to confuse and mislead them. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So back to the and the drinking.
By the way, I'm going to nail the hell out of this in editing.
What do you mean?
I'm going to fix so much of this in editing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I do.
That's nice. So this was a special showing where at the end of it, they had a satellite beam in with interviews from the director and some of
the stars and the cinematographer
and this Carla Gugino, who was leading the panel for some reason, which made no sense to me.
This is a giant asterisk on the whole thing.
Yes.
What would you do if you were sitting in a movie theater and you're watching a panel after a movie and the most common word used between the four of them is
so many ums.
Now, see,
3 actors and the director.
Here's the problem now. When I do editing, it cuts out filler words. So all the I
don't think we've said this episode, have we? I'm very aware of it.
I'll let you know in editing.
I might have said but I think I'm better about not saying So anyway, folks, Carla Gugino was saying every 10th word or something, and I was sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, how could an actress be this bad at speaking her own words?
It's easy because again, like I mentioned afterwards, reading a script is one thing, but actually having to come up with the words on your own, it's very different.
That makes sense. So I'm listening to her, and the ums are just, oh my gosh, they're driving me crazy. So until I finally can't stand it anymore, and I say something to Scott.
Yeah, we turn this into a fake drinking game because we don't have any alcohol with us. So we just were holding. Like, I actually had like a little water cup. She didn't have anything.
I was pretending to hold a shot glass.
Acting like we were taking a shot.
It was a drinking game.
Every time we said Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I am not kidding you in the least, no exaggeration at all, that by the time that this panel was done and we left, Amber has given herself tennis elbow.
I am in so much pain. It's unreal. That was the most intense workout I might have ever had in my life.
Okay, well, that's exaggeration, but
I don't know that it is. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger would have even built up his muscles lifting that fake shot.
oh no,
glass
it
as
was
much as we did.
definitely it hit the point
It
of
was
being
crazy.
a workout.
Yeah, it was. So this is all I'm going to say about the film. I'm not going to say anything
we
else.
wouldn't be doing this episode right now if we had actual alcohol. We'd be passed out in the theater.
Oh my gosh, yes, we would be so sloppy, drunk, unconscious, it wouldn't even be
No,
funny.
we would have passed out and probably
They would have called the paramedics.
Expired in the theater. It would have been no more cinema IRL.
Womp womp. So I'm done. I don't want to talk about this film anymore because, again, nothing that you've heard here on this episode is true or false. All of it is just a bunch of jibber jabber. And go see the film for yourself and drop us a line or a comment and let us know what you think.
And Amber's now going to officially be known as the lying liar who
You're
lies.
a lying liar who lies.
It's not true.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We hope you enjoyed our episode. Thank you for listening. And to catch all the new episodes, please subscribe. We release 2 to 3 episodes weekly, so we'll have new content regularly. Until next time.